Can I taste your juice?
Oh yeah, it's got plenty of room in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you fart, something a stack of boxes will fall for sure.
Yeah, so we have 2 other warehouses on top of it. So, you know, the guys, it's a pretty easy system. They take the orders coming online, we sync up with our ERP. When it prints out, everything's got a bin number, so the guys know, they don't have to know anything about the product or anything. They just go and grab it. However many units. This is like the main warehouse where we keep like the most relevant stuff. I'm trying to carry a little bit of everything, so shops feel like they have a place to go where they can get a bit of everything. We have 151 employees now. In the winter time, we keep things out here too because it's cool enough. In the summertime, we have a teacher dedicated to it. Just because it's easier to pick the more popular lines. Before we go over there, I'll take it to our receiving. Everyone's having lunch right now. Hey guys. This is Dimitri.
You guys.
You too. How are you? Good. Cold out there, huh?
Yeah, let it go.
So all our deliveries generally come in here. The guys come in, check it in, and they get it to the bins from here. We have a little bit of backstock back here.
It's crazy. It's a lot of product, bro.
Unbelievable.
We got 2 other
I
warehouses.
feel like I'm in China. Really.
So this is picking, packaging, and shipping.
Picking's all over there. This is packaging, checking, and then shipping. Hey guys, how are you? This is Dimitri and Phil.
Hey guys.
You guys. That's the guy, huh? How you doing, man?
Good. How's John as the boss? Is he okay? Is that alright?
Yeah.
They look very convincing.
So, you guys want to do the presentation? Or what do you find out?
Yeah, find out about the product.
It's on Alex. I'm sorry? What's up with the energy product? Absolutely. Alex.
So here we are with John from DemandVape, all the way up in beautiful sunny Buffalo.
Very sunny outside. Thanks for coming through the snow, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dimitri flew here. I had to drive up from Rochester. But tell me about DemandVape. Where did it come from? What's your involvement? What's your role? How did you get started with the vaping industry?
So I'm one of the co-founders. There's 3 partners here. We actually started at the end of 2011 as a tiny company. My partner Tony actually got on a plane, went to China for 3 months. And the catalyst that spurred all this was we were playing, I think, poker one night, and we went outside and there was a guy vaping, and we were all heavy smokers, and we were like, "What is that?" You know, we were intrigued by it. We wanted to know what it was, and I think me and Tony both tried to quit probably 30 times, unsuccessfully, and I could honestly say, you know, it would have killed me at some point had we not come across this
you and me
person.
both, yeah.
And it just really caught our attention and intrigued us, so we wanted to know more about it. You know, we bought some flavorings. We started to try to mix some liquid, and it was god-awful at first. Oh my God, probably the worst stuff you'd ever taste in your entire life. But, you know, as time went by, we got better and better at it, and we're like, you know what, this could help a lot of people, and obviously, just like anyone else, we wanted to make money doing it.
Sure.
So we started a business. It was actually called Ecto-World back then.
Ecto-World.
Ecto-World, yeah. And, you know, Tony went to China for 3 months, visited every major Chinese manufacturer. We started off OEMing little 650 kits and T8 tanks. And those were huge back then. There was no real big vape distributors at the time. And I wouldn't even classify us as a large distributor back then.
Right.
And then we started knocking on doors. We hit the road, we knocked on doors, talked to people. God, I think the first month we were pretty nervous. We thought we were gonna go out of business. We're like, I don't know if these people are gonna call us back. You know, we were dropping product off, knocking on doors, talking to them. You know,
So you
very
were feeding vape
success.
shops back then?
No, there were no vape shops.
You weren't,
back then.
okay.
These were tobacco shops
Excuse me.
or cigarette stores that, you know, had a little. I wouldn't even call it a vape section, but maybe like a, you know, smoking everywhere or one of those devices. It was very early in the vape industry.
Right.
And then, you know, about a month after that, slowly the phone calls started coming in. And it took off pretty quick. You know, we started servicing, you know, a couple hundred at first, and 1,000, and 1,500 shops all across the country. That's when we turned it into a call center and a distribution center instead of hitting the road, because we had that repeat business. And from there, you know, the industry evolved, and we kind of evolved with it. We had really good relationships with every Chinese company, and we just kept bringing in the product as it was coming out, and we just organically grew into who we are today.
So when did we change from Ecto to Demand?
If memory serves me correctly, I think it was around the end of 2015, early 2016.
So do you supply just shops in this area, or at least U.S.-wide?
All over the country.
All over the country.
Yeah, we service about 3,000 vape shops across the country.
Okay. So Dimitri and I came up here representing Inikin and to do our Back to Basics workshop. What did you think about the information in that?
I think it is pivotal to the preservation and the future of our industry. I think it's extremely important to convert smokers to vaping, because right now we're kind of at a stagnant point in our industry where we're basically catering to the same people over and over and over again.
Catering to, marketing to, everything.
Yep, right down the line.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as a distributor, you know, we supply what's in demand, right? That's our job. That's where we fit in the supply chain. I would love to see that change, though, to have the vape shops to start to cater to those smokers, because I think we would see tremendous growth in this sector if that were the case.
When did you see your biggest growth?
I would say right around when the Alien was released. You know, we kind of we had those really good relationships with the Chinese, and that's kind of when China went from, you know, releasing 1 or 2 things every 6 weeks to, you know, bringing product in very quickly.
1 or 2 things every day.
I don't know about that often, but it feels that way sometimes.
Yeah, it sure does.
And we, like I said, we had a really good relationship with them. So, you know, we would get the product in, we would always get it in right away, and we always set up our business to be 100% customer service oriented. We always felt that if we did right by our customers, everything else would fall into place. And to this day, we still follow that same ideal.
Yeah, and you said something that was interesting before, and we saw the returns area. You handle returns a little bit different here.
Yes.
Right.
You know, there's a manufacturer warranty that comes with every device. We're firm believers that if we offer better service to our customer base, in terms of returns, you know, we have a whole department that's set up for it.
Yep.
Every single vape shop has a dedicated sales rep that talks to whoever the purchaser is at the vape shops, and we want to make sure that we always take care of their problems, because at the end of the day, everyone carries the same thing. You know, you have to bring value to your customers, and I think that our vape shops specifically find a lot of value in that service. They know from the after-service aspect, they will be taken care of.
It's funny I would say the Smoke Alien, because it did drive, you know, that vape shop growth. I think, you know, having an inexpensive dual 18650 battery with a tank. But do you think that that's when the Smoke Alien kit became the starter kit that the vape shops were offering for smokers, that actually hurt us? And I think that we're seeing that now with the popularity of the Juul and other products, that the smokers are more relatable to than going to a dual battery mod right off the bat, that they have to make a huge investment and not get the satisfaction that a smoker needs.
So I would look at it as a double-edged sword, per se. I think that that inexpensive dual 18650 kit grew our industry tremendously, which was a good thing. Yeah. I think the transition from that and the next step we took was where we really fell short.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone saw the popularity and the money to be made in that type of device.
Yep.
and they really started concentrating on that, and they forgot about everything else. So I don't know if I would necessarily blame it on the alien per se, as much as, vape shops and
What happened
distributors.
because of it?
Yeah, it was more so the aftermath and the effect of that kid. But at the same time, it did bring a lot of people into our industry, and it did convert a lot of smokers. And I think that if they would have if we would have concentrated on all aspects of every segment of every vapor, I think our industry would be in a very different spot today.
Totally agree with that. We can't do an interview and not talking about advocacy. You're involved now. You're on the VTA board, the Vapor Technology Association board. There's a big push, for state associations. How are you seeing the things from trying to unify this industry under a common voice to fight back to these unfair regulations that are being imposed on it?
Well, let me start here, because when I decided to join VTA, I had a lot of bad experiences in advocacy prior. I was part of ECVA, and that just completely fell apart.
Sorry.
Yeah, it happens. Such is life.
Yeah.
Business is the same way. You got to keep moving forward, and one step at a time, and make sure you're doing the right thing by everyone. So before I got involved, I really wanted to make sure we were making the right decision. So I vetted out all the associations, and at the end of the day, I really truly felt that VTA, from a professional standpoint, from a legislative standpoint, and from an industry representation standpoint, was the best chance that we have to come together as an industry. I think that due to the chaos that comes along with just being part of this industry, it's very difficult to consolidate everyone under one voice. I would love to see that happen, and I'll take this opportunity to just come out and say it. We need to do it. Whether you love VTA or love Safada or whoever you support, at the end of the day, we are not going to win unless we all come together under one umbrella. Because the federal government, the state governments, the power is in the membership. It's not in the organization. And until that membership grows, we don't have a chance. So we really need to concentrate on making that happen.
I have to say, Phil, if you want to add here we've talked to a lot of distributors, and obviously, with our involvement with Inikin and trying to bring these starter kits back into the market here, that we've talked to a lot of distributors, but nobody takes the conversion rate as serious as you have, John. And we appreciate that fact that you understand the value in having people like me and Phil represent products that can go back and bring more smokers into the industry.
Well, I mean, just the fact that John wanted us to come here and do this presentation, the workshop with the employees, I think speaks a lot to John and to DemandVape.
Yeah.
Right?
And look, we're not perfect as a company by any means. We've made mistakes along the way. We've carried questionable e-liquid brands. We've changed that since. The important thing is, as this industry evolves, we all need to make better decisions moving forward on how to make sure not only make sure that we preserve this industry, but continue to grow it. Because if we don't do that, it's over for all of us.
Talk to us about your relationship with George and some of the Inikin product that you're bringing in now.
So George has a special place in my heart. He truly does care about this industry and about the people that are involved in it and the smokers. He came and visited maybe, I would say, roughly about 2 months ago, 6 weeks to, about 6 weeks ago, I would say. And I had the pleasure to spend a couple days with him, and I had a lot of really good conversations with George, and he really truly did touch my heart in the fact that he does care so much, and we need more of that in this industry. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job and dedicating a lot of your time, energy, and effort, and not only making sure that we grow the segment that's so important to the future of our industry, but also, to convert those smokers. And
Absolutely.
Really, that's what it's all about. And at the end of the day, even on the advocacy front, if we could show that we're converting smokers at a higher rate year by year by year, it makes it very hard to want to bury this industry.
Yeah.
Because it's a public health net benefit. And that's what the FDA cares about.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Dimitri says all the time. But what do we do now? What we do now is we convert as many smokers as we possibly can.
That is
we
our
just
best.
grow it bigger and bigger and bigger.
I think that's the best way to fight the anti-vaping groups. It's all in the numbers. They like data. They like to, take polls and see what's happening. Now, Commissioner Gottlieb had something in front of him that said, teen smoking is down, the percentage of smokers are down, but vaping is up. I don't think that he could possibly take the steps that he took last month. I think that he would be forced to admit that this is a public health net benefit, and they would need to support it. So I think if we can do that, I think we have a really good chance at winning this battle that we're up against.
Well, I just want to say, any vape shop that is watching this, you should contact DemandVape. And not only get Anakin products, but we got to meet a lot of the staff here and the salespeople, and they're all very knowledgeable and very...
Staff's fantastic here.
Very, very nice crew that you have here, and they really care, and they all really paid attention to what we were saying. And your customer service is impeccable. So, and you have all the Anakin products now as well, too.
Very happy to say that you have a full stack of the Anakin. Well, almost, but you're going to fix that. And the good news, too, is that John is pretty much committed to having stock on hand. So hopefully we won't have some of those issues if shops are looking for the Anakin product or the platform product underneath Anakin, that John's going to have them for you.
John's got our back.
Yep, I made that commitment, and let me just put one qualification in there, to the extent that's in my control.
Yeah, well, we can't do anything about China. If China does not get it here in time, that's not our fault.
Do you mean you're not going to get any product from them during Chinese New Year? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think the industry's used to it at this point. But I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we do have enough product here for the new year. And I do want to support what you guys are doing. And let me also say thank you to both of you for everything you guys do for this industry. You both have been a very strong voice, not only in converting smokers, but on the advocacy front as well.
No, that's where the camera should really spin around and aim at Dimitri, because he is the advocacy god, or he definitely knows. And I think that's why we're such a good team together, right? Because I can explain temperature control to him all day long, and he can explain advocacy and all the players to me all day long. So I think that's one of the reasons why we work so well together. Do you agree with me, Dimitri?
Absolutely. Yeah. I couldn't do it without you that way.
And if you ever want a no nonsense how it is answer, you got to contact.
You might not always like it, but you're definitely gonna get it. You're definitely gonna get it.
He doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jeff,
thanks
for having us
us.
here. Really, really appreciate it. We're having a great time, and we're gonna go back into the warehouse now, and maybe even do a Facebook Live back there, and see some of the Anakin product on the shelves. So
absolutely,
fantastic.
looking forward to it. Thank you, Dimitri. Thank you, Phil, and you guys are welcome here anytime.
All right,
thanks
so much, John.
Can I taste your juice?